Right, ladies and gents, I'm going to be showing you, or not showing you, we're going to be telling you how you can source for your Amazon private label business. Or let's say if you want to start an Amazon private label business at the moment, let's say if you want to transition from doing arbitrage or wholesale into doing private label, I'm going to be telling you the 5 ways, that I've got 6 actually here, which I've written down on how you can go ahead and source your own products, okay? For a little bit of context, my name's Adam. I've been doing Amazon for 6 years now. Our business consistently does over £300,000 in sales each and every single month on the Amazon platform and TikTok Shop platform. So, we've got a lot of credibility. We know exactly what we're doing, and you're in the right hands right here, right now. So, number 1 is going to be reasonably obvious, and that is actually going to just be sourcing something which you already know and like. Let me just move this camera down a little bit, not that far down. That's all right. Yeah, sourcing something that you already know and like. It's obviously very, very obvious, but a lot of people don't start there, stupidly. It's very, very obvious that you should do that, because whatever you like or know or like or stuff like this, then you're going to know a lot of stuff about it. And you're obviously going to be very, very passionate about it as well, right? So ask yourself this question right now, like, what is it that you like, or what is it that you do on a daily basis or bi-weekly or weekly basis with your friends or something? Maybe it's a hobby or something. Maybe you play darts, maybe you play golf, and you want to create something around that, okay? Something around that. Maybe you play darts, you want to create some sort of dart. You may want to start creating the little card things on the end of it and stuff like this. Maybe you know a little bit about it. Maybe you know where it's made and stuff like this. All of this gives you an advantage in the market, right? Because if you're launching something that you don't know or anything like this, you don't like, one, you're not going to be passionate about it. So why the frig are you going to be motivated to carry on the business? Maybe you start making money, and yeah, sure, you get motivated, but like making money gets somewhat boring sometimes. So it's like, if you're not passionate and don't actually like the product or like the thing that you do, sometimes people just stop doing what they're doing and stop making money because they don't like it, right? So whatever you like and whatever you know, it's going to be so much easier for you to source it, so much easier for you to create images with the product. It's going to be so much, because you probably have friends which are dart players or golfers or whatever you want to launch. For example, you probably have friends, you probably do it. You can maybe get involved with the photography. You probably know what's good to have in the images. You probably know where the products are made and things like this, or generally made, and all that stuff, right? So first to begin with, like, what you know, obviously going to be amazing. Number 2, people never do this either. Like, friends are friends and family, right? Who do you know, and like, what do you know? Like, who do you know? Like, you may have a friend or a family member that has a friend or has a cousin that has a cousin or whatever that owns a factory out in China or a factory in Europe for some dog supplements. You never ever know, really, unless you ask. And nobody asks. Nobody ever asks. They're always afraid to ask. Why? Your friends of friends, or your family friends, somebody could be an integral part to you changing your life. All you need to do is ask, hey dad, do you know anybody that has any factories at all? And if your dad's best friend is even if he doesn't own it, maybe he's a commercial director there or something like that, your dad is best friends with him, and they're a freaking huge company. Perhaps they don't usually work with small time people like yourself, or maybe even medium-sized businesses like me. Maybe they only work with large-scale companies. But if you know that person in there, your dad's best friends with them, maybe they can get you in. Maybe they can get you in at good fucking prices, to which nobody else can ever get, only because you've asked, you've got your foot in the door, and you've made that connection. So always ask friends, family, friends of friends, family friends, all of these people. Ask, do you know anybody which has any factories or any businesses or anything like this, to which we can maybe work with. We build, grow, and launch any product on the Amazon platform, so we're actually actively looking for manufacturers and new products that we can launch. So do you perhaps know anybody? This is very, 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 very important. Okay, and I actually had a client of mine over, I think 2 years ago now, he did this thing, and he actually found somebody that has a manufacturing facility through that, and he now obviously makes money through that, which is freaking cool. Number 3. So what do you use daily that can be improved? So, you know, it can be what you like, obviously, but like some of this stuff that you may use, you may not like as well. Like you may not like certain things about your car. Maybe you can make an accessory for the car, which can be very, very beneficial. The one that comes to my mind, which somebody launched, is coffee's so good. One that comes to my mind is like, before cars really had Bluetooth on a wide scale, people with obviously cheaper cars and lower end cars didn't have the Bluetooth, and some of them may still not, I don't know. But somebody invented the Bluetooth transmitter, which obviously gave pretty much all cars Bluetooth. Maybe he was passionate about it, maybe not, but he probably used his phone every day, probably listened to music every day, and he probably didn't like his car, but he still used it every day, and he was seeing, how can this be improved? So he obviously invented the Bluetooth transmitter. You plug it into the cigarette lighter, and it emits a certain frequency. I think this is how it works. You tune the radio to that frequency, and then bang, when you connected your phone to the transmitter, you start playing music, and it starts playing through the car's speakers. Freaking cool idea, right? Very, very, very cool idea. And that's just from something that somebody uses daily or very, very often. So ask you the question right now, what do you use every day? Which is really freaking annoying for you. Something that you wish was improved. Because like, as a private label seller, as a brand owner, a brand builder, there's not really, there's limits obviously, but like there's not really that much limits. You can invent things, you can make things work. So like if you ever thought, obviously you're not going to be like, oh yeah, I want a rocket jetpack, for example. Maybe you'll have that in 30 years, but like right now, like you got to be somewhat realistic. But like if you really did want to invent something and make something better about a product, just know you can. If you ever thought, oh, this would be nice to have this on it, because it will make having this on this would make this so much better. For example, like, again, this just comes to my mind. I don't know, right? For example, a lot of scoops when you are taking like a creatine or whatever, the scoops are usually big, and like not all of the people, like some people put it in protein shakes, but like quite a lot of people, I think, put it into just bottles like this or like smaller bottles like this. And when the scoop's huge, like you can't get the product in, you can't get the thing in. This is what comes to my mind right now. Maybe there's one which is already in the market, I don't know. But like to get the scoop in, like it doesn't work. So why not create maybe one half of the size? Maybe you have to serve 2 servings, and then it also has a small little like funnel thing or whatever like this, and maybe you just have to do 2 scoops. How about something like that, right? And that's something that you use daily to take your creatine, for example, which can be improved. So number 4 is actually looking for opportunity in the space by looking at competitor bad reviews. This is one of the most common ways that you can source, really, and it is a very, very good way, like a very, very good way. So you'll quite often find that all of your competitors are lacking in some way, shape or form. Obviously it depends what niche you go into, but like there'll always be room for improvement a lot of the time. So you want to be going onto their competitors' listings on Amazon, on TikTok and stuff like this, like what's good about this product and what's bad about this product. You know, you collect in all of these bad reviews. Maybe you collect 100 of them. You get them, you sum them up. Maybe you use ChatGPT to sum them up. Like, oh, like what are the bad things about this competitive product? Where are they falling? What are their pitfalls? And how can I improve? And all of this, you collate all of this, and you can actually take this to the manufacturers when you go ahead and speak and source with your manufacturers. So you can go ahead and speak to them, but like, look, this is good, this is good, this is good, I want this, 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 and this, but I also need to have this improved, this improved, this improved as well. You know, so our customers are really, really satisfied. Can you do this? You may have to get it custom made, have a custom mold or something like this, which may make things more expensive to begin with, but if you've made things truly, truly better, you can actually protect yourself with maybe design rights, maybe even patents as well if it's like almost a new product. So looking at bad reviews for sure is imperative on Amazon, TikTok, even just using ChatGPT, just asking what bad reviews, like what's a pitfall of X product. Also, not just the bad reviews though, look at the good reviews. I mean, we're talking about how to source it, not product development, but also look at the good reviews, see what's good about the product, see what you can actually take from that as well. Number 5 that I've written down here, and it's probably not going to be what a lot of people are going to do, is just inventing something brand new, like literally brand new, being completely innovative. You know, not quite Albert Einstein, but like, you know, being very, very innovative and creating something completely brand new is something that you can do. So if you ever had like a dream or an aspiration that you wanted to build something that you know doesn't exist, and it's not, you know, it does somewhat link to improving something, because a lot of the things that you would invent completely from scratch would be sort of an improvement on what's already on the market right now. Like, I'm not sure if they are an improvement, but and the electric cars have been around since petrol cars, I think, or maybe even before, which is crazy. But like, let's say if the electric cars only got invented 5 years ago, and then like they've just brought out electric cars they've invented electric cars to save the planet or whatever. So can you invent something just completely brand new and be super, super innovative? Like, this is going to take a lot of time, a very long time. It's going to take a lot of development. It's going to take a lot of money to develop the product. You may need new molds. You may need to source like this product from one supplier or manufacturer and one from another manufacturer. So, you know, or you might need to create a special formula which has certain things in it, right? But that's something that you can do, just to let you know. The huge benefit is, like, when you've actually got it up and running, like, you could get that product patented. And take Ring Doorbell, actually, for example, like the first electronic doorbell with a camera. Very, very cool product. You know, you can patent things like this, or you can design patent it, or you can get patent on functionality, which means basically nobody can copy you or your design for X amount of years, which obviously gives you a huge competitive edge in the market. If you have a really, really good product, then that's obviously like going to be a very, very good thing for you to do. So that's five things now. I've got number 6, a bonus one. This was only going to be 5, but I've got number 1, what you like. Number 2, friends of friends and family. Number 3, what you use fairly often and can be improved. Number 4, opportunity in the space, like bad reviews. And number 5, inventing something new. And number 6 is actually something I'm really looking forward to doing, because I mean, I've done this many times, but first time actually going to China and doing it, which is actually going to in-person trade shows and events. And I'm very excited because I'm going to China in about, I think, 1 month's time now, something like that. I can't wait. This is going to be cool. It's going to be so cool. And it's going to be basically what the Canton Fair is. It's basically a trade show full of manufacturers, but it's the biggest trade show in the world, full of tens of thousands of manufacturer booths across every single niche you can ever imagine, which is so cool. So cool. So I've been to many trade shows I've been a couple in Europe and quite a few in the UK as well. If you've ever been to the NEC, they do hold them quite a lot of the time there in Birmingham in the UK, and also the ExCeL Arena in London. So they do trade shows in these types of places in the UK. If you're watching from the UK, there's loads of big ones in the US if you're from the US as well. So, you know, these trade shows can be very, very good. I've had some really, really good relationships from there. At the moment, I'm probably one of my top 3 suppliers as well, came from a trade show just only 1 year ago now. And they've since, in just 1 year, become my top 3 supplier, right? I think they're probably the 3rd biggest supplier of mine. So, you know, and also the relationships that you can build there is phenomenal, right? Phenomenal. The good prices that you can get. But this video is about sourcing here, right? So when you're going to China, when you're going to other places, and you can ask these manufacturers when they're in person, is there anything like in the back, any new products that you're working on at all, which you aren't displaying here, which, you know, is very, very interesting? Because a lot of the time, if you're speaking to a reputable manufacturer, like, they're usually quite innovative. They're always working on something new, and they're not just going to tell to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So if you're there in person speaking to them, you're building a bit of rapport, building a relationship with them. They may show you some very new products which perhaps they have patented, and perhaps, you know, perhaps it's a brand new product for them. They've patented it. They're just looking for a means of launching this product, and you could be that person to launch the product for them, in turn giving you, you know, exclusivity and all them types of things, okay? So there are some ways that you can go ahead and source. There's some other ways that I use as well, but there's some of the main ways that you can go ahead and source a product to launch a brand on Amazon. Like, you know, we're doing insane numbers on Amazon, insane numbers. We've got a warehouse, we've got 5 members of staff, we're doing over £3 million per year. We're probably going to do over £4.5 million this year in sales. So, you know, we've got a big business. We're doing very, very well for ourselves. And if you want to learn from one of the best in business, obviously, hit the link down below in the description, and yeah, book in a call with me. Let's have a conversation together and see how I can help you. But yeah, without further ado, that's it from me. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Like, subscribe, and peace.